designed for physical proximity. These attack methods are able to penetrate high-security networks that are disconnected from the Internet, such as police record database. In these cases, a CIA officer, agent, or allied intelligence officer acting under instructions physically infiltrates the targeted workplace. The attacker is provided with a USB containing malware developed for the CIA for this purpose, which is inserted into the targeted computer. The attacker then infects and exfiltrates data to removable media. For example, the CIA attack system Fine Dining provides 24 decoy applications for CIA spies to use. To witnesses, the spy appears to be running a program showing videos, for example, VLC, presenting slides, Crazy, playing a computer game, Breakout 2, 2048, or even running a fake virus scanner, Kaspersky, McAfee, Sophos. But while the decoy application is on the screen, the underlying system is automatically infected and ransacked. How the CIA dramatically increased proliferation risks in what is surely one of the most astounding intelligence own goals in living memory. The CIA structured its classification regime such that for the most market valuable part of Vault 7, the CIA's weaponized malware implants plus 0 days, listening posts, LP, and command and control, C2, systems. The agency has little legal recourse. The CIA made these systems unclassified. Why the CIA chose to make its cyber arsenal unclassified reveals how concepts developed for military use do not easily cross over to the battlefield of cyber war. To attack its targets, the CIA usually requires that its implants communicate with their control programs over the Internet. If CIA implants, command and control and listening post software were classified, then CIA officers could be prosecuted or dismissed for violating rules that prohibit placing classified information onto the Internet. Consequently, the CIA has secretly made most of its cyber spying /war code unclassified. The U.S. government is not able to assert copyright either, due to restrictions in the U.S. Constitution. This means that cyber arms manufacturers and computer hackers can freely pirate these weapons if they are obtained. The CIA has primarily had to rely on obfuscation to protect its malware secrets. Conventional weapons such as missiles may be fired at the enemy, that is, into an unsecured area. Proximity to or impact with a target detonates the ordnance including its classified parts. Hence military personnel do not violate classification rules by firing ordnance with classified parts. Ordnance will likely explode. If it does not, that is not the operator's intent. Over the last decade, U.S. hacking operations have been increasingly dressed up in military jargon to tap into Department of Defense funding streams. For instance, attempted malware injections, commercial jargon, or implant drops, NSA jargon, are being called fires as if a weapon was being fired. However, the analogy is questionable. Unlike bullets, bombs, or missiles, most CIA malware is designed to live for days or even years after it has reached its target. CIA malware does not explode on impact, but rather permanently infests its target. In order to infect target's device, copies of the malware must be placed on the target's devices, giving physical possession of the malware to the target. To exfiltrate data back to the CIA or to await further instructions, the malware must communicate with CIA command and control, C2, systems placed on Internet-connected servers. But such servers are typically not approved to hold classified information, so CIA command and control systems are also made unclassified. A successful attack on a target's computer system is more like a series of complex stock maneuvers in a hostile takeover bid or the careful planting of rumors in order to gain control over an organization's leadership rather than the firing of a weapons system. If there is a military analogy to be made, the infestation of a target is perhaps akin to the execution of a whole series of military maneuvers against the target's territory, including observation, infiltration, occupation, and exploitation. Evading forensics and antivirus. A series of standards lay out CIA malware infestation patterns, which are likely to assist forensic crime scene investigators as well as Apple, Microsoft, Google, Samsung, Nokia, BlackBerry, Siemens and antivirus companies attribute and defend against attacks. Tradecraft Do's and Don'ts contains CIA rules on how its malware should be written to avoid fingerprints implicating the CIA, U.S. government, or its witting partner companies in forensic review. Similar secret standards cover the use of encryption to hide CIA hacker and malware communication, PDF, describing targets and exfiltrated data, PDF, as well as executing payloads, PDF, and persisting, PDF, in the target's machines over time. CIA hackers developed successful attacks against most well-known antivirus programs. These are documented in AV defeats, personal security products, detecting and defeating PSPS and PSP/debugger/RE avoidance. For example, Komodo was defeated by CIA malware placing itself in the Windows recycle bin, while Komodo 6X has a gaping hole of DOOM. CIA hackers discussed what the NSA's equation group hackers did wrong and how the CIA's malware makers could avoid similar exposure. Examples: the CIA's Engineering Development Group, EDG, management system contains around 500 different projects, only some of which are documented by Year Zero, each with their own sub-projects, malware and hacker tools. The majority of these projects relate to tools that are used for penetration, infestation, implanting, control, and exfiltration. Another branch of development focuses on the development and operation of listening posts, LP, and command and control, C2, systems used to communicate with and control CIA implants. Special projects are used to target specific hardware, from routers to smart TVS. Some example projects are described below. Let's see the table of contents for the full list of projects described by WikiLeaks, Year Zero. Umbrage. The CIA's handcrafted hacking techniques pose a problem for the agency. Each technique it has created forms a fingerprint that can be used by forensic investigators to attribute multiple different attacks to the same entity. This is analogous to finding the same distinctive knife wound on multiple separate murder victims. The unique wounding style creates suspicion that a single murderer is responsible. As soon one murder in the set is solved, then the other murders also find likely attribution. The CIA's Remote Devices Branch's UMVRAGE group collects and maintains a substantial library of attack techniques stolen from malware produced in other states, including the Russian Federation. With UMVRAGE and related projects, the CIA can not only increase its total number of attack types but also misdirect attribution by leaving behind the fingerprints of the groups that the attack techniques were stolen from. UMVRAGE components cover keyloggers, password collection, webcam capture, data destruction, persistence, privilege escalation, stealth, antivirus, PSP, avoidance and survey techniques. Fine dining. Fine dining comes with a standardized questionnaire, that is, menu that CIA case officers fill out. The questionnaire is used by the agency's OSP, Operational Support Branch, to transform the requests of case officers into technical requirements for hacking attacks, typically exfiltrating information from computer systems for specific operations. The questionnaire allows the OSP to identify how to adapt existing tools for the operation and communicate this to CIA malware configuration staff. The OSP functions as the interface between CIA operational staff and the relevant technical support staff. Among the list of possible targets of the collection are asset, liaison asset, system administrator, foreign information operations, foreign intelligence agencies, and foreign government entities. Notably absent is any reference to extremists or transnational criminals. The case officer is also asked to specify the environment of the target, like the type of computer operating system used, internet connectivity, and installed antivirus utilities, PSPS, as well as a list of file types to be exfiltrated, like office documents, audio, video, images, or custom file types. The menu also asks for information if recurring access to the target is possible and how long unobserved access to the computer can be maintained. This information is used by the CIA's JQJIMPROVISE software, see below, to configure a set of CIA malware suited to the specific needs of an operation. Improvise JQJIMPROVISE. Improvises a toolset for configuration, post-processing, payload setup and execution, vector selection for survey/exfiltration tools supporting all major operating systems like Windows, Bartender, MacOS, Jukebox, and Linux, and Zephyr. Its configuration utilities like Margarita allows the NOC, Network Operations Center, to customize tools based on requirements from fine dining questionnaires. Hive. HIVE is a multi-platform CIA malware suite and its associated control software. The project provides customizable implants for Windows, Solaris, MikroTik, used in Internet routers and Linux platforms and a listening post, LP/command and control, C2, infrastructure to communicate with these implants. The implants are configured to communicate via HTTPS with a web server of a cover domain. Each operation utilizing these implants has a separate cover domain, and the infrastructure can handle any number of cover domains. Each cover domain resolves to an IP address that is located at a commercial VPS, virtual private server, provider. The public-facing server forwards all incoming traffic via a VPN to a bot server that handles actual connection requests from clients. It is set up for optional SSL client authentication. If a client sends a valid client certificate, only implants can do that. The connection is forwarded to the Honeycomb tool server that communicates with the implant. If a valid certificate is missing, which is the case if someone tries to open the cover domain website by accident, the traffic is forwarded to a cover server that delivers an unsuspicious-looking website. The Honeycomb tool server receives exfiltrated information from the implant. An operator can also task the implant to execute jobs on the target computer, so the tool server acts as a C2, command and control, server for the implant. Similar functionality, though limited to Windows, is provided by the RIPBODY project. See the classified user and developer guides for HIVE. Frequently asked questions. Why now? WikiLeaks published as soon as its verification and analysis were ready. In February, the Trump administration has issued an executive order calling for a cyberwar review to be prepared within 30 days. While the review increases the timeliness and relevance of the publication, it did not play a role in setting the publication date. Redactions. Names, email addresses, and external IP addresses have been redacted in the released pages, 70,875 redactions in total, until further analysis is complete. Over redaction, some items may have been redacted that are not employees, contractors, targets, or otherwise related to the agency, but are, for example, authors of documentation, or otherwise public projects that are used by the agency. Identity versus person. The redacted names are replaced by user is numbers to allow readers to assign multiple pages to a single author. In the redaction process used, a single person may be represented by more than one assigned identifier, but no identifier refers to more than one real person. Archive attachments, zip, tar.gz, are replaced with a PDF listing all the file names in the archive. As the archive content is assessed, it may be made available. Until then, the archive is redacted. Attachments with other binary content are replaced by a hex dump of the content to prevent accidental invocation of binaries that may have been infected with weaponized CIA malware. As the content is assessed, it may be made available. Until then, the content is redacted. The tens of thousands of routable IP addresses references, including more than 22,000 within the United States, that correspond to possible targets, CIA-covered listening post servers, intermediary and test systems, are redacted for further exclusive investigation. Binary files of non-public origin are only available as dumps to prevent accidental invocation of CIA malware-infected binaries. Organizational chart. The organizational chart corresponds to the material published by WikiLeaks so far. Since the organizational structure of the CIA below the level of directorates is not public, the placement of the EDG and its branches within the org chart of the agency is reconstructed from information contained in the